Destiny build's on pause for a while. Had a lot been going on lately, and I kind of had to throw some things on the back burner. Got some big changes coming up. Still doing some things right now, but so I'm doing this guy in the meantime. Something fresh, something new. It's always good to lose yourself in some art whenever things are not going as according. Sometimes life throws you curveballs, but once everything is set in stone, I'll tell everybody what's going on. So, might be moving. So, but that's all I'll say for now. Boom. I gotta figure out what kind of ruins I want to put in this guy. Thinking like maybe some voodoo stuff, some good old Lovecraftian stuff. I might pull up some pictures of the Necronomicon, put some emblems, some ruins in this guy. Finish adding texture and get this guy smoothed out first. Holy crap, chat's going crazy.
Hey, well, we're going to lunch and be back to bed.
Alright guys, take it easy. It's got some both Cthulhu ruins. Yeah, the gap in the front two teeth was intentional to give space for my nose. I don't want to try to wrap it around, so that was intentional. Wanted to kind of look like it was a skull that's been broken up and used as a mask for whatever purposes. So I might even bring this guy down a little bit here, because I might get a top hat and be fancy. Who knows? So if I wear a top hat, let's see. This is my head, so I might need to bring it down to there. Let's do that. These are my handy dandy little dentist tools. Got these guys at a swap meet. They're freaking awesome. I love these things. Don't really care if this guy's symmetrical or not. Thanks, Chimera Rose. There we go. I like that more. Bring it down a little bit. Looks like it's a little thicker right here. Knock that down with my rake. I'm not streaming right now with Bill. Bill just ran out to lunch. I don't think anybody else is streaming. I'm not familiar with half the names in this feed, so... If Bill was watching anything on the internet, I'm sure it would be cat videos. Or uploading cat videos. Alright, let's go back to doing some texture of this guy. Old sea sponge thing I'm going to use. Try to add some kind of pitting look on this. Yes, Bill's cat is Buddha Cat. He actually has his own Twitter page, if you didn't know. I gotta start a Twitter page for my cat, too. Must be the thing. Prop makers and their pets having their own Twitter pages. Of course, my cat's one signature thing he does is he drools a lot. All over my face, while I sleep. He is a 20-pound Maine Coon, and he is a giant baby. That is my cat. Actually, I don't know how many followers Bill's cat has now. But it is kind of sad that an animal would have more followers than a human. I mean, look at Grumpy Cat. Maybe it is Bill's toothbrush. Alright, let's look up some Necromancer Ruin stuff. Let's see. Let's go with Voodoo Ruins. And... holy crap! 75 people in chat. That is awesome. Or viewing. You guys rock. Well, while we're here, you guys don't know who I am WM Armory. I make props and costumes. Check out my page. Below I have all the links for my website. I have my Patreon, so if you guys like seeing me sculpt stuff, paint stuff, build stuff, ask me questions on making stuff, I'm more than happy to answer. Yeah, spread the word out there. I'm trying to do this more. This is probably my 7th episode I've done. So I'm still pretty new to this live streaming thing, but looking to do this more often. and maybe have guests come in, other prop makers, sculptors, fabricators. So yeah, check it out. Follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, and if you want to throw me $1 or so, or spread the word on Patreon, that would be awesome. Greatly appreciated. It means I can do this more and get better setup, better quality, better lighting, and more awesome cameras. So, all right, let's see. Ruins. Let's get some Cthulhu ruins. Lovecraftian ruins. I'm feeling Lovecraftian. Let's go with that. Ooh, I don't know what these are. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I could do something like right here, maybe around the eye. Let's see. Trying to think of some cool stuff I could put on here. Actually, let's see. What about the Necronomicon symbol? Aw, you guys are nice. Alright, I think I might do the Necronomicon symbol. Just kind of carve that in right there. Do some kind of cool lines. Maybe a couple of the ruins on the side. Maybe, if I'm feeling crazy enough, I'll do some like ruins or something on the teeth. That might be pretty freaking cool. Yeah. Or, be really serious, I could put a dick butt right here. What do you guys think? Just right there. And I do like the idea of asymmetry. You know, it might be kind of cool, instead of having it in the center, is expand it, and then just have the lines kind of go off like it was on a larger scale. I could maybe do that. Get creative. Could be a dick butt necromancer. How about that? Dick butt instead of pentagram. He can raise other dick butts from the dead. I have a dick butt army. Imperfections. Oh, that's a bit too much. Dick Butt Army of the Dead, impervious to bullets. Dick Butt Mancer. There you go. Call it the Special Bill Edition. Yeah, Bill and I, the time I've been here, have hid quite a few things in each other's workspaces. One of my favorite moments was a phallic shape I drew on his paper towel roll after I unrolled half the roll and very carefully rolled it all the way back up. So about a month later, he found a paper towel rolled up that had just a giant phallic shape across it. So that's the kind of humor we have here in the shop, because we're adults. Let's see. Boom! Alright. I'm going to play around with some ruin ideas. So I could do the classic Necronomicon symbol. I want to do it with the forehead. I'm thinking if I did that, I'd do like full scale so it would overlap and just have those lines intersecting and kind of go over it. And then have little tiny emblems in between. So, let's see. Actually, I have a printer. I can print this shit out. Find a large version of this. Oops, what did I do? Oh. Yep, I'm using Monster Clay. Big old tub I've had for quite a while. I have had this since I did Tali, which was the first. Let's see, what shit, when was that? 3 years ago I did Tali Helmet? So, this is pretty dirty, nasty stuff. I should probably get a new case of Monster Clay. But yeah, I'm liking Monster Clay so far. I know some people have issues with it, but I haven't had any problems with it. I've enjoyed using it, and it's fine. Alright. So let's see. What are we doing here? Images. I am probably bogging down my computer pretty bad. My poor computer. Okay. What do we got? Let's reach out to you guys. Alright, chat. What emblem should I do? Got any reference images? Anything you guys can recommend? Aside from dick butts. The other idea I could do is I could try to write like some kind of script in here. That might take a long time. So like half of it's written with some kind of archaic text written on one side and then have an emblem or something on the other. Oh yeah, links aren't going to work here. WM Armory, at WM Armory on Twitter will work. So if you guys have images or anything, tweet them at me at WM Armory, and I can see your ideas for what I should do for emblems. So I'm going to start throwing some ideas out there while I do this. Thanks, UloFX, I appreciate it. Yeah, and I've kind of blindly been going along. Our Bill and my old shopmate, April Ness, she live streams on Twitch with her art. So she kind of helped me get started setting this up, and I've been figuring out since. So I'm using OBS right now. The big thing I need right now is a new computer, because this guy can barely handle crap. I have to play music on my phone because I can't play it up here. So it's pretty hard to do anything other than just stream on this computer. So that's the next step, is to purchase a better, faster computer that can handle more load. Right, tick butts and ruins. I try to find some translator and just write tick butt, tick butt, tick butt, tick butt, tick butt over and over again. Let's see here. Import image. Alright. Let's see how that worked. Be right back. Ah, son. There's a light there. So, fun story. You guys didn't know. I work at a share shop space with Bill Duran of Punished Props. Bill is about 5'10". He's shorter than me, but his workspace is perfectly accommodated to him. Myself, however, at 6'2", not so much. So we actually had to put padding on some of the ceiling places where it gets a little too low, and even with the padding, I've still taken myself out, which is why I just keep running into this light over and over again. So if you're short, there's benefits to being short. Alright. So, printed this guy out about yay big, but I'm thinking I could do something like that, and then just have the intersecting lines go across. Make it a little smaller. Let's see. About yay big. So that's one idea. What do you guys think? Do one that's the full size of it, and the lines just go across it, and I write little ruins here and there around it. That's one idea. Or I was thinking I could print out some kind of script and just put that on there. Well, not print out, but I could try and like write that on there, like it's some kind of cool text or something. And then some larger emblems on the side. Dick, butt. Very mature here. Very mature. That's an idea. I could EVA foam the ceiling. Doesn't mean I still won't hit my head, it just means it won't hurt as much. Alright, we popped up Twitter. Let's see what is pouring in with the ideas here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the eye. Eye on the forehead. Pretty sweet. Is that from Elder Scrolls? Because that looks like an Oblivion symbol. Either way, still pretty cool. These are some pretty cool emblems. I like these. Keep them coming in, guys. Keep them coming in. Ooh, I like this, whatever this text is. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm thinking what I could do is on one side I do some font or text like, let's see, swap over here, pop this window to full. So something like this, do some kind of font like this, but across one side of the mask. On the other side I could have emblems. That might be pretty sweet, or some kind of decorative lines. Or I could still do that all the way across. I could draw dick butts on the inside and nobody would know. So what do you guys think? Full size across the whole thing, kind of overlapping the edges, or I do the scripts on one side and I just pinch his teeth. So for choice A, got this guy all the way across, or choice B, I write all the Cthulhu Lovecraftian script on one side and put emblems on the other. Why not the Eye of Sauron? Just put a white handprint, slap that on there. That. I was looking for something simple and quick, though, too. So, because I got to cast this guy out pretty soon, or at least get this guy ready for silicone pretty soon. The idea with what I'm going to do for finishing it, though, is the same way I did the Cultist. So having more texture and detail in it will really make that pop a lot more. That's true. I could always etch it in afterwards. Then it would give it a much more carved look. This guy's going to be 65D polyurethane. Well, I'm going to add a little more texture to this guy, and then I might just cast it up like this, and then hand etch the ruins into the Dremel. So I think what I'm going to do is just cast this guy up, and then I'll etch the ruins in with my Dremel after that. With whatever I decide to do. Alright, so to prep this guy for molding. So for prepping this guy for molding, what I need to do is I need to make sure that the edges are all about the same thickness. I don't want any low point because this is not a prosthetic. I don't want this to blend. I don't need an edge to blend in. This is a solid cast piece that's going to go in my face. So I need to make sure that the thickness here is uniform, or at least close enough to uniform all the way around. So I'm going to go around and fix that up. And make sure I have a nice defined edge, so make my job easier when I'm casting it. Oh! I'm really sorry to face that. Genius. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this OBS thing. So, my apologies. I had it on the wrong screen. So, I'm going to do what Dave said. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cast this guy up and then add the details to it later. And I'm really going to carve those in so it gives it more of a cool carved look. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going around to make sure that these edges back here and all around are uniform. So that way when I stare right in the back of my head. That way when I cast this guy up, it is a lot easier to see where the edges are at. And I'll be doing a brush-on silicone mold with Rebound 25. 65D is the resin I'm going to use. Alright. Yeah, no, that's another thing I need to do is have a second monitor set up. I have it set up in my chat, so if you post up a link, it won't connect, which is why I have people do it on Twitter so I can see what it is. So. So I also need to make sure I have a nice defined line around the eyes. Actually, for that, I'm going to use this nice handy little wood tool right here. Yeah, I need to find some mods for this stream. So, but this is only like the 7th time I've streamed, so. Hey, Sup Stam, how's it going? Sup Sam? God, I'm horrible with the freaking names. How's it going? Welcome to the chat. Oh, I'm happy with that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a nice little clean wall around here to help cast the extra silicone. How do I make somebody a mod? Well, I'll figure out the whole mod thing after this live stream, but yeah, if you guys want to be mods, shit, that would be awesome. Alright, so now I gotta scoop out some of this clay here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use water clay, and I'm gonna clean up all of my monster clay. This is the fun, messy part. Because as I'm sculpting this, tiny little shavings get everywhere, which is why I don't recommend using monster clay if you have a carpet. Having a hard floor is best. So once the stuff is in the carpet, it is not coming out. Yeah, I'll look at making people mods after this this live stream. So now I just gotta get stuff going. So once the silicone's set, pretty easy to do. There's monster clay everywhere. You can see the lovely mess that I have to clean up with monster clay all over the place. This is the ball I've been collecting. So, so if you hear that mashing sound, that's me getting up clay. What's really handy is when you're working with this guy too, this base, having like a lazy Susan. This was actually for a potted plant, and it had this lip on it. I used just I cut that guy off with a bandsaw. But this guy's great. It holds 400 pounds, and it's actually got 3 rings of ball bearings in it, so it supports a lot of weight. I can stand on it, and it spins just fine. And the clay over here, and I turned it around to the other side. I had a perfect freaking handprint just mashed right into the work I had just done. So having one of these guys is great, and also making sure that you hold onto something that's not your work. So that's how we learn, making mistakes. Fun lessons. Okay. Get most of this put away. I love ice cream, like a normal person, but I eat a lot of these gelatos, so I have about 10 of these cases for brushes and pens and pencils, but any like, little handy plastic thing like this is great. So, if you ever notice my shop, there's a lot of gelato containers around. Alright, put all my tools away. Okay. Peanut butter containers were good too. Yeah, any of those plastic containers work wonderfully. But yeah, they're great for, got one for my pencils. one for pens. I've got one for sanding sticks, one for markers, one for my cutting tools, one for sculpting tools. I have one for my paint brushes, and I have a little container that goes along the side of my desk that I can put them all in. So like here's one for my paint brushes. They're really handy to have, little containers. And I got ice cream out of it, so how good of a deal is that? Ice cream and organization, all in one. So, let's get out the water clay. Yeah. I'm gonna mold it, and then after I cast it, I'm gonna use a Dremel to carve runes in it.
That right
there?
there?
Okay.
Do you still use this camera, or are you just using your phone?
Using my phone. Yeah, no, I'm
Look at that guy. Oh, did you put like little pockmarks and stuff in it too? That's pretty awesome.
Say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody.
Got evil effects in here.
Oh, David's there.
Yeah. Everybody say hello to Bill.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Are we gonna see David at DragonCon, I hope? I don't know. There's a little delay in the chat.
Yeah, there's about a 10-20 second delay. Yeah, 10-20 second delay. Tell Bill to shush. He can get his own stream.
What'd you do to make the like pockmark texture on there?
That.
Oh, cool.
Use like a wire brush. I
Yeah.
have a crappy old brush I like go to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. And then I have a sponge that I also like go to shit with paint.
Yeah.
Wherever I put it, yeah, like these. And I just kind of like mash that around, get that texture in there.
Yeah. Oh, David says, hell yes. It's going to be a DragonCon. I'll see you there. Sweet. Alright, I'm going to go do my own work.
That's right. Fuck off my stream. Don't cross the streams. Oh, people say hi, Bill. Oh. Did I get moldy? That is moldy. Whew. Moldy water clay. I'm gonna put that one back. Ooh, why does that smell funky? fighting water clay. These guys were great. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, let's move out. There we go. Ugh, smells like... This water clay's getting mold on it.
Yeah.
Funky.
Gross. So you can probably like scrape that off the outside, right?
That's what I'm trying to do. It smells like a fart. Oh. A very dead earthen smell. It is no bueno pleasant. I'll lace all the crap out of my hands after this. Kill that mold. It is Bill's clay. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Oh, looks like a little tiara. Almost looks saintly. There we go, so create a nice edge so my silicone doesn't go all over the damn place. And I'll prop this guy down so it's looking up. Make it really easy. Yeah, so I'm going to be brushing on silicone. Rebound 25. It's a platinum cure silicone. It looks like melted creamsicle. And I'm going to be... It's a little thicker, so that's why it's brushing on. And I'll actually add a thickener to it. So the first coat won't be thick. I'll let that be kind of runny because I want it to get into the crevices, into the crevasses. Let that capture all that detail. So the first layer is just going to be a little bit like a beauty coat, and then I'll start globbing it on like peanut butter once I get all the detail. I want to make sure I have a nice seal around here, so that way it doesn't leak off. Put just a little bit on the lip there. I could have done this with monster clay, but water clay is just so much faster to work with. Alright. Should be good. Boom! Usually I'd take the time to make that a little more pretty, but, oh! Got Camaros is leaving. Talk to you later. Good seeing you. Good coming to the chat. Thanks for coming in and checking out, and I'll definitely work on that mod and stuff, so. Alright, take care, Mr. Badmac. It's like people rolling out here. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on casting this guy. And if you guys missed anything, I will be putting this on up on YouTube afterwards, so you guys can catch the whole shenanigans. Alright. And while the silicone sets, I can work on the emblems. Print off some stuff. Alright, move some stuff out of the way here. Picture of this guy.
Hey Will, I know you have some silver Sharpies. I keep borrowing one at a time and returning them, but I'm just going to keep this one.
Go for it.
Alright. I have a ton of black ones if you need.
I've got a good amount of those. I'll remove my mouth. Oh. This is going to be more like a masquerade mask. So, this is just for a fancy ball that I'm going to in LA.
What doesn't work though?
I have crap all over my hand, so I don't want to put my hand in the chips. So I'm being super messy right now trying to eat my chips.
This one doesn't work.
I toss it.
This one looks good. Nice.
Mm-hmm. I got moldy clay on my hands, so. And now there's chips everywhere. Yay! Okay. So, prepping the area for silicone. I don't want to get silicone everywhere. It's sticky, it's nasty, so let's lay down some paper. So, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot or any place. In the painting section where they have like the tarps and drop cloths, they'll also have this brown paper that you can lay down. Or that you can like tape down, whatever. It comes in rolls of like 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, maybe even 4 in some cases. I do the 3 foot stuff. It's great for laying out on tables to cover them so you don't have as much of a mess to clean up. Instead, you just rip it off and then toss it. So I'm going to lay that down. So we're going to move this guy over. I'm going to lay down some paper for doing the silicone. One-handed by the throat. Oh, look, I found more mold. Or more, not mold. More monster clay. Oh, no, I'm good. I just made a disaster over here, so.
I don't know why. I didn't have a project for it. I just have 10 pounds of it now.
Well, shit, I'll buy some off you. If you don't want it. I'm going to start getting a lot more into casting and molding helmets. Or sculpting and molding helmets.
Tell you what, doing a live stream where you sculpt something, like especially something like that where it's your own design, where you can show people you sculpting it and then you sculpt into it. That's a pretty good.
Yeah. So this is the stuff I'm talking about, guys. This stuff right here. Boom. So lay that out, and to put it on the table, use this kind of crappy brown tape. It's painter's tape. It's the marketing. I never use this on props because it has too much tack. It'll rip your paint off. But it's great for laying stuff down like this. You can get bulk packs of it, pretty cheap. In the same section, it'll be right near this. So, now I gotta sneeze. Okay, I'm good. All right, back to it. Damn it. That's a little long. I don't need to do that, but whatever. Yep, some people call it butcher paper. Butcher's paper is actually a little thinner than this. This is a little thicker. Make sure I don't tape down my keyboard. This is actually the first speed build I've ever showed anybody. Usually speed builds are out the door before I remember to take pictures of them, so it'd be nice you guys get to see the whole process. It's been quite a few little props I've done lightning fast in a day and never really had a chance to take pictures of, or at least any serious portfolio pictures, but now I have a video you can witness. Witness! Okay, let's adjust our camera here. Okay. lay this guy down facing up. That way it catches more of the silicone. But I'm going to need to find a way to prop his head. So what I'm going to do is tape roll, see how one tape roll works. I'm going to do 2 tape rolls. Boom! Yeah, there we go. Just gonna kind of dish that in a little bit. Like that. God damn! Okay. Now, silicone is nasty, sticky stuff. So you're gonna want gloves. Now, I like to have one of these little measuring cups. What I do is I figure out about how much I want, and I can measure water in here. I can pour it in a clear cup like this, and then, does this actually have measurements? No, it doesn't. Pour it in a clear cup like this until I figure out how much I need, and then I can mark that off with a marker. So instead of having to sit there and measure things out, I just fill it up to the line. Makes things much simpler. What kind of gloves? I use these kind of gloves. Nitrolite disposable gloves, and XL because I have big hands. Oh, no latex. If you use the latex powder gloves, it can cause curing inhibitions. So, yeah, the Nitrolite powder-free gloves. Don't use powdered latex gloves. It can cause curing inhibitions. Thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot to tell everybody that. Alright, so let's see. Now for the first beauty coat, I don't need a whole lot. I just need a little bit. So I'm probably going to do a total of 40 milliliters. Oh, this does have milliliters on the side. Right there. Can't barely see it. So, just so I don't have to see it, because it is hard to see, I'm going to use just a black Sharpie and mark off what I need. So, of course, this starts at 30 freaking milliliters. So, because it starts at 30 milliliters, wait, no, I bet you that's 20 right there. 20 milliliters right there on the bottom. Do that on both. This is 2 parts, equal parts, A and B. Slide this guy over. So for spreading on the silicone, you just use a crappy old brush. Alright, so this is the 25, Rebound 25. Comes in jugs like this, or you can get trial sizes that are like Pringles cans. But if you're doing a lot of helmets and masks and stuff like I do, use these guys. So, toss the gloves on. Already lost the gloves. There in my seat. Alright. So let's see. And Okay. Now, what you can do too is if you have a vacuum chamber, you can get those to degassing is what they call it too. You can put a little in here, you can mix it, and because the set time is 20 minutes, you can put it in there for about 4 or 5, and it'll help get some of the bubbles out from mixing it up. And that's good for your first coat because you want to capture all the details and you don't want any bubbles. You're brushing on, you're going to get some bubbles anyways, so it doesn't really matter for later. But the beauty coat, you want it to be bubble free. So, since I'm going to do a thin beauty coat first, I'm not going to worry about degassing it. This is a quick mask. There might be some imperfections. I'm not all too concerned about it. So I'll fix those up. So I'm going to set this one aside. And I like to have these tongue depressors, popsicle sticks. You can get these at craft stores. So here's side B, nice and pink. And then side A is white, so it looks like a creamsicle when you mix it up. Pink goo. I need barely any of this really right now. Okay. It's hard measuring small amounts of this, so I may actually just do 30 milliliters of each side. So, because it's so thick, it's hard to do delicate amounts. So. Alright, I gotta get down low here, so camera for a second. Gotta let that set so I can see where it's at. Now there's thickener for this, so when I'm brushing it on, it won't just pour off the sides, and it gets kind of like a peanut butter consistency. I've heard they also have a thinner that you can add to it to change the viscosity so it's more runny, and that'll help with bubbles if you're pouring. But if you're going to do a big pour mold, I don't recommend Rebound 25. You should get like a Mold Star because that stuff has it's very thin, so it helps remove the bubbles. Because if it's too thick, the bubbles have a hard time escaping. Alright, so add a tiny little drizzle more. Actually, I might just go for, yeah, I'm just going to go for 40 of those. Okay. So because this stuff is thick, it's hard to kind of measure out exactly on the bottom there. The more I add, the easier it is to figure out how exact it's going to be. I lost my popsicle stick. Yeah, I'll have to try some of the thinner. I haven't actually tried that yet. I have plenty of the thickener from doing helmets and stuff, but not the thinner. Pink goop. Now once this stuff is on and set, it'll take 6 hours to cure. I always like to give it 7. Because you never know, climate conditions can change things. It's pretty warm out right now though, so it should be fine, but I'll always give it an extra hour just to be on the safe side, because the last thing I want to do is take this off too soon and have curing inhibitions. So I always like to give it an extra hour just to be safe. Set that on the table, keep it level so I can see where it's at. It's good. Alright, put this away to make sure I'm not using these guys, because I don't want to mix my A and B and contaminate it. So I'm actually going to switch gloves. my hand. Yeah, the Cultist mask I did had a lot of details and grooves and lines on it, and I used a Beauty Code of the Rebound 25 on that, and I did lose, or I got some bubble issues in the detail. But because it was in the silicone, I could just scrape it out. Still a pain in the ass, though. So having that thinner would have been really nice. That was also a very last-minute Dragon Con sculpt. Alright, first popsicle stick. You know what this stuff reminds me of? It's Part A on Rebound. You know the packets of toaster strudels? They come with the little icing packs? This totally looks like toaster strudel icing packs. Although I would not recommend people using it as such. Unless it's someone you really dislike. But even still, don't. Shown exchange someone's icing with silicone. Okay. Looks good to me. Alright. Set this to the side. Pour these at the same time from a high distance. They're cut. And let them kind of connect together. So that way they're kind of mixing a bit as I'm pouring them. A lot easier when you've got more. These are these turn compressors to scrape up stuff. Now, the Smooth-On thinner, or not the Smooth-On thinner, the Rebound thinner, is that a product sold by Smooth-On? I'm assuming it would be. These are just medical cups you can order online. I'll have to find and put a link to them. You can use clear Dixie cups. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Now, because this stuff is pretty thick, I usually like to use a screwdriver to mix it. Because I've used a popsicle stick before, but because it's thick and you're stirring peanut butter, they sometimes like to break. Make sure you don't see any of a nice consistent color. Scrape the sides with the screwdriver. This is quite the forearm workout. And Popeye arms after this. Now, this little bit's not that bad. When I was doing a helmet, I had cups filled with this stuff. And I'll tell you what, that really is a workout. Alright. I think that's good. This over here. Making sure there's not any little clay bumps or clay fuzzies on here. Sometimes when you're working with the water clay, you can get little pieces on it, or there's a little tiny piece of clay you missed that got away. I need to make sure that's all fixed. Okay, so start drizzling this on, and I have my scrap brush I don't mind using, or trashing. This guy over here. Okay. Over here. Now if you start from a higher height and let it drizzle out just a little bit, that little ribbon that it's creating will help pull some of the bubbles out as it's stretching. So you can do that as a trick too, to pour from a higher height. Now some people do crazy things and get on chairs. So I'm going to pour in a flat part first. Get that nice ribbon. Pour it in the eyes there. Right in the eyes. Just gonna drizzle this over. And I'll brush it in. I want to make sure it gets all in the eyes there and doesn't create any bubbles, so I'm going to brush it into the pockets and kind of pull it up. If it's thin, you can see the bubbles and also help the bubbles escape to the surface. Make sure I'm getting all the low points and recesses, the detail areas. So I really want to take my time, well, within the set time of 20 minutes, to make sure I get in all the cracks and crevices of the teeth. And because there's kind of a little scoop there, or edge underside, I want to make sure I get that too. Now there's this little crevice I put here on the ridge of the nose. I really want to try to work in the silicone there. And then around this edge here, right along in here. Any of those deep spots, that's where I don't want any bubbles to be. So that's where I'm going to focus. Making sure to brush the silicone in there. Changing the direction so I'm not brushing bubbles into it. And then if there are bubbles, this is just a very thin coat, so they should be able to find the surface just fine. If you see them, you can always pop them too. Getting a little thicker, a little faster. We'll just speed it up. I also want to brush up into the edge here. Make sure I'm getting that lip. This is not the Lord of Bone guy from Game of Thrones, if that's what you're asking. Although I can see the similarities. The tricky part is getting up underneath his teeth here. I'm going to work this edge, make sure I'm getting that lip there. I'm going with popsicle stick. Get out the excess. Big old pink boogers. Alright. You can see there's kind of a bubble right in the eye there a little bit. Kind of a bubble there in the eye. Oh, there we go. You'll see them as little dark spots. What you want to be careful of is that when it pours over this edge, it's not creating the bubbles it's going over. So that's why I'm trying to brush the bubbles out from the lip there. If it spills and it makes a mess, that's fine. You can clean it up. That's why we put the paper down. I know some people use a little air compressor to kind of blow at the bubble to try to pop it gently. So my air compressor just took a huge shit on me, so I gotta get a new one. I'm making my shoulder pains.
Yeah. And they're gonna get covered in pretty quick. Oh, that's cool. Just laying it back like that so it traps all the.
Just doing the beauty code right now.
Yeah.
Boom. So we'll let that sit up for about 30 minutes or so, and I'll start putting on another one. So.
Super cool.
But so the process is now I need to fill in any voids and low spots. I need to make sure it's bulked up around these points, and I want to have a nice consistency, at least yay thick, on the lowest point. So these eyes are going to get filled in entirely. These are going to get filled in, and it's going to be one nice, just kind of flush piece. I don't want to go too thick, but I want to make sure that these are filled in enough so they don't pop and rip out. Make sure the high points have at least that much on them, so that way they don't poke through or tear or create weak spots. So I'll let that sit up for 30 minutes, and I'll continue doing this. But any questions you guys have right now for myself? Or Bill Duran's right here if you want to ask some questions too.
I made this.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close the stream because watching silicone set, not the most fun thing. And then tomorrow we'll do the jacket for the mother mold, and I'll paint and finish this guy up. So, fun stuff. So, throw any questions you have in, if you have anything, and then if not, I'll close out the stream. Gotta wait for that awesome 12-second delay. So I don't know if anybody actually heard me or not.
You play music off your phone?
Yeah, because my computer can't handle it.
And you put your phone in a bowl.
Alright guys, well I'm going to go ahead and close it out there. How much does silicone cost? On the scale I have, it's about $180 for those 2-gallon containers. They call it a gallon unit, but it's 2 gallons. 1 gallon of A, 1 gallon of B. It's quite a lot. You could probably get 2 helmets out of that, depending on the level of detail and everything. I was able to get quite a lot out of that container. I got Star-Lord, a Flemeth Crown, and the Dragon Priest Cultist, and also this guy out of those 2 gallons there. So they'll go for quite a ways. The trial size, I think, is 30 to 40, and that's the 2 Pringle cans. So it's not bad, and it's good quality stuff. It's platinum. You'll get a lot of pulls out of this stuff as long as you take care of it and make sure to use the relief spray on it to keep it moisturized so it doesn't dry out. But it'll last a long time. My Tali helmet cast was out of this, and I got about 50 pulls out of it. Talk for 60 minutes while it cures. I don't have enough to drink to talk for 60 minutes while it cures. The cultist mask? How long did it take me to do the cultist mask? Hold on, let me clean this guy out first. Let's brush up. So, you can actually try to save your brushes and stuff by using a little rubbing alcohol. You can also use it to thin stuff. So, well, not thin, but if you want to smooth out afterwards, and I'll show you guys that when I finish, or at least I'll take pictures. But this stuff is great for smoothing out the silicone, because it will not mix. But there, I can salvage my brush with a little bit of this rubbing alcohol. This is the 91% isopropyl alcohol. Boom! But I still want to use that brush for painting. Other stuff I made around the shop. Oh, they want me to just shoot the shit while the silicone dries. I got this guy. He's covered in dust. This was my first pull. You can see I didn't have the mixes darker tints, and the back was way too thin, so it worked. But that's my Star-Lord helmet. Oh yeah. I got this guy. Boom. I don't want to get that near the silicone. So that's the Destiny Titan Hammer. Finish that guy up. Boom. But yeah. You guys follow me down below. I've got my Twitter, my Facebook, my website, my Instagram, my Patreon. I just started doing the Patreon to help others live stream and to bring you guys more content, more tutorials, more how-to guides, more ebooks. The more you guys help me out, the more I can help you out and spread the knowledge of how to do all this stuff and have more fun sit-downs and shoot-the-shit live streams. So this is a new thing for me, the live streaming, and so far I'm loving it. So if you guys want to help out, donate, give $1, $5, or just spread the word. Spreading the word helps immensely to get it out there. So I greatly appreciate it, and thanks for coming, everybody. I'll screw around for a little bit longer and maybe get the second coat on this before I shut it down. We'll shut it down at 5, so 15 minutes or 20. Zoom out. I think I'm zoomed all the way out. So you guys want to close up with that hammer again? This is all foam floor mats.
I want to make a t-shirt that just says, yeah, it's foam.
This guy is all foam floor mats minus the dowel to create rigidity in the handle. I carved this guy out. I did this, you can see some of how I did this on the live stream and how I did the handle and everything. I did a tutorial. This is from Destiny. It's one of the new subclasses coming out. The Titan can summon this, it catches on fire, and he throws it at people's faces. Sounds pretty awesome. But yeah, that's what this guy was for. It's for a Titan build that I was going to do. So, but I might be selling this guy, so you might be able to get your hands on this. No, that guy is just a shit ton of Plastidip coating. So I did about 4 coats of Plastidip on him, and then I did several coats with just some Krylon primer, flat, and I wet sanded him a couple times to get him nice and smooth. Went up to about 600 grit on the wet sanding, and then I used Krylon flat black after the wet sanding, and then I did 2 coats with Design Master Metals spray paints to do the metallics to do that. So that's how I finished that guy up. So I'm going to be doing more molding stuff, so if you're interested in molding, hang around. I'm sure there's no bubbles there. Ah, I see a bubble! Screw off, little bubble. I just put my hands right in it. Don't do that. Alright, not bad. All good, okay. Yes, I do foam stuff just like Dave does. Actually, I got into foam stuff because of Dave, so it's all his fault. I'm here right now. I blame you. Now, I really wanted to do a Mass Effect costume back when the second one was coming out, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had building and art experience, but costuming was a whole new thing to me. So I met Dave at one of the parties, and I saw his costumes. I was so excited because I hadn't seen any around. I was like, oh, it's amazing. And he told me what it's made out of, so I took notes, as many as I could, and I decided to go for it. And conveniently, I found him on the internet, and he did a whole build-up of everything, so I followed that to the T, and trying to do do that, and I made my first set of armor, which fit me so poorly because I could barely walk upstairs and I couldn't sit down. So 2.0, which actually commissioned, someone saw me on Twitch TV, not Twitch TV, what was it? No. Whatever the BioWare TV, they had some BioWare live stream they did at San Diego Comic-Con, and somebody saw me there and said, hey, can I pay you to make me a suit? I figured, why not? And completely underpriced it. I had no idea what I was doing. But that's what everybody does. They underprice their first prop because they have no idea how to price it. So I did that, and I got into it, and it was all downhill from there. So, but 2.0 armor, I made sure I could sit down. So that was an essential thing. Anything I make from now on, comfort is a huge factor going into it. So, well, thank you, Dave. Personally, I critique the hell out of myself, and I am my own worst critic. So I looked at that, I'm like, God, it looks like shit. Why did I do that? Why did I do this? I should have done that. And I had no idea what I was doing. But I've learned a ton since then, and I've shared as much as I can with everybody else. So, but yes, I'm here because of all the stuff I watched from you. So thank you. Yeah, sitting is very important. You really don't think about it. Also, pockets. Add pockets to stuff. If it doesn't have it, add a pouch. You can create a little ammo case that's actually for your phone and wallet. I always find an area to hide things. That's the only thing you don't think of, is they don't build pockets into freaking costumes. So, always add pockets. And no one's going to call you out if you add an ammo pack, a belt pouch, anything to your costume. No one cares. Okay. Let's see how this is doing. Give this a little poke. Oh, a little bit longer on the beauty coat there. Oh, I've been standing too long. Now, I'm pretty happy with this sculpt. So I'll get this guy set up, and then tonight, this guy takes 6 hours. So I'm finishing, yeah, probably be in tomorrow morning. He will be ready for the mother mold, which I'm just going to do a little fiberglass jacket. You can use, there's some plastic paste stuff that you can use. Some people use porcelain. I'm just going to use fiberglass because I'm most familiar with doing fiberglassing. So just a quick cheap fiberglass, 2 coats on there, because this is a very fast pull. So, and I can always do another one later. But I'll do that, and then that'll take 2 hours to set. So I'm probably not going to live stream the fiberglassing, but once I get a pull out of that, it will be 2 hours later. So I'll come in first thing in the morning, throw that guy on. Or maybe you can come in late tonight and do that. But yeah, so this guy will be finished up tomorrow. Once I'm actually casting him and popping him out and painting him, I'll start live streaming then again. So. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on that keyboard. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. What I do when the silicone hardens? But like on my desk or on this guy? When it's on this guy, once it's all done, I'll make sure it's all thick and coated on and everything. So I'll do, after the beauty coat, I'll just mix up a ton of it, really thick, and I'll just start brushing it in. I might have to do 2 passes with it, just to kind of fill in the gaps and voids. So I'll do that. I'll let that sit to 6-7 hours, and then once that's set, I'll put in registration keys. So I've got little chunks around here. I'll put in registration keys on there, so that way when I put on the jacket, it fits in there and doesn't shift or bend, because you don't want it to warp when you're casting it. So that's called the mother mold or the mold jacket. So you'll put that over top of the silicone there. And then, once that's done, I'll pry that off, and then I'll slowly peel back the silicone, and I'll scrape all the clay off, and I'll clean the clay out of the inside of the mold here, if there's any in there. And then once that's done, I'll do a junk pull to pull any little particles out. And then I'll do the actual casting, so with the resin. Check how this guy's doing. About 10 more minutes. Alright. Yeah, and then I will play around tonight with the concept of what I'm going to do for all of the ruins and everything on it. Oh, I'll take a picture of the fiberglassing. Definitely. so you guys can see the mess that goes into that. Fiberglassing is not fun, but I've done quite a bit of it. I actually learned to do fiberglassing in the military when I was working on auto body stuff. So my military occupational specialty was metalworker. So I got to work on the vehicles and the frames and patch holes in tanks. That was my job. At least that's what I was supposed to do. I ended up in the freezing cold at Fort Drum, New York, ordering parts for vehicles. It was less than glorifying. And I'll tell you what, nothing makes you quit smoking like negative 30 degrees with wind chill. The worst. And yeah. I've been in negative 45 and I've been in 120 degrees. So both ends of the spectrum. Fun sidetrack. Yes, I've worked with fiberglass originally for auto body, so it was pretty easy to jump into it, doing it for props and stuff. I still don't like it. It's still nasty to work with. I am going to start trying to use Plastipaste or other stuff, or higher quality fiberglass. So usually just get whatever I can get my hands on at Lowe's, which is pretty cheap stuff. You can get better stuff at like boat stores or automotive stores. But if you're desperate, you can get fiberglass stuff at Lowe's and Home Depot. They'll have it in there. I think around their painting section, or their chemicals, or like near the adhesives usually you can get the fiberglass stuff. So, yeah, you definitely want to cover yourself up when you're working with fiberglass because the little particles can get everywhere. So wear a shitty long sleeve shirts, pants. You don't want to be wearing flip-flops or sandals. Always have a respirator and good ventilation when you're working with the fiberglass resin because that auto body stuff is horrible. And it sets quick. It sets really, especially when it's hot out, it'll set in under 2 hours. Alright guys, well I think I'm going to call it. I'll slap the rest of this on, I'll take some pictures up and put it on Facebook, so if you guys want to see the progress you can follow on there. Also throw them up on Twitter, so if you guys want to follow me there you can check out the rest of this. And then come back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. I have no idea what time I'm going to do it. So, probably looking at around, if I start early in the morning, hopefully it'll set up. I'll be able to do it around 11, starting again. So, come back in around then. I'll post up my Facebook page when I have a better idea for how this guy's set up. And we'll finish this guy up. So, thank you everybody for coming. Enjoyed it. Hope I answered your questions. Hope you had a good time watching me make a mess all over my desk and my keyboard. Take it easy, guys.